Are we live? Hey guys, this is Bobby Clue, Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce. We're back again for another one of our chamber spotlights. So again, this is the second in a series of spotlights that we are doing on our 2023 Business of the Year award winners. So in no particular order, we are going out, we're getting our hands dirty, we're going out and being on the ground with these businesses where they operate. Community Event of the Year.
That's right.
I'm here with Tiffany Finley. So everybody knows Tiffany, former president of the Chamber, executive director of the Master Musicians Festival, and Community Event of the Year in 2023. Right. So thanks. Listen, we did this on purpose.
Yep.
We're in the throes of Master Musicians Festival weekend, correct?
We are. We are right in the middle of it, but we are way ahead of schedule. So you came at a good time.
Thank you for taking a little bit of time to talk with us. So, I want to know a little bit, just for anybody who doesn't know, can you tell us, so you turned 30 years old last year.
Last year, yep.
So, you guys, you can rent a car. You're 30.
Yeah, we're adults.
You're adults.
Yeah.
So, tell me the origins of this, because I know that it always wasn't as big. This is a big concert now. It's a 2-day. Yeah. How did this start?
Yeah, well, I was 14 when it started, so I can't tell you for sure, but what I've been told is, in 1994, a bunch of community people got together to bring arts and culture to our community. Instead of having to go out, go to Lexington or go to Cincinnati or go to Nashville, bring arts and culture right here to Somerset-Pulaski County. And I think they did a really good job of that.
Yeah.
And I think they're pretty proud of what it's become now.
I've always heard this urban legend that that there was, one of the reasons it was started was to help raise money so Tommy Cate could get was it Tommy Minton?
Tommy Minton.
He could get a new musical. It was a fiddle.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that wasn't true, and I've heard that it is true. I love the story, so I say it's true.
I love it. I think it's a neat.
Yeah, and I think part of, maybe it was that same group of people that had originally started having things to be able to raise money so he could have a guitar, and we honored him 11 years ago as our master musician. So
I remember
it worked
that.
out for him.
Who was the original founder of this? What was her name?
Her name's Gabrielle Gray.
Yes.
And she started in 1994. And I want to say that Bob Sams had something to do with it. Gloria will tell a story about how the two of them kind of worked together.
Yeah.
Gabrielle is the founder, and she did this for 9 years with a board of directors. She's the one who, got us our 501c3 back in 1994, which helps us so much today to get donations and make it what it is. But then she left after 9 years and went and created Romp over in Owensboro, which is a huge, I call it our sister festival.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal in Owensboro. So she knew what she was doing.
Well, you have been part of this now for how many years?
This is my 15th year.
So you are kind of like the OG now.
Yeah, I'm the old person now.
You're the old head. You've done this. You made a point. This is a non-profit board that puts this together. So you guys aren't making money. This isn't a paid group of people. This is all volunteer driven. Is that right?
Yeah, we have about 200 volunteers, and that includes our 13-member board of directors that meets every month. And then now I am the only paid director. The other two directors before me got paid, and then when I took over, it wasn't in the budget to be able to do that. And about 3 or 4 years ago, we figured out a way for me to raise my own salary and make that happen, because we know, and I can already tell you, it's what is today? Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and we could have the festival tomorrow if we wanted to. We're that ahead of schedule, and that just comes along with
having a paid employee.
A paid employee that's dedicated to making this the best it can be. Sponsorship dollars are up. Everything, because I can dedicate most of my time to the festival.
Well, it takes a village to do something like this.
Sure.
It not only takes the volunteers, but it takes our business community. It takes people to sponsor and to donate and that want to be a part of this. And I think that you've created just a real culture, like a cool summer moment for our community. I think that most of the people still that come to this are probably from out of town, aren't they?
A lot of them are. I think it's getting better. I think it has become more of a community-driven event too. But and also I think when we're looking at that data, most of our local people are coming from those businesses because we have about 110 businesses that sponsor us at a tune of $210,000. So that's a lot of community dollars being poured into this festival.
Right.
So they're getting tickets. So those tickets aren't really being counted as people locally, you know.
That's fair.
On Eventbrite.
Yeah.
But I think it has. I've been feeling, especially the last few years, of people being like, "Oh, let's go to MMF."
I remember last year seeing a lot of people here that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
Just a lot of kind of cool local people that normally probably go out of town for things.
Sure.
That, you know, they've identified this as one of those cool things. And I always talk about how you don't have to go out of town to do things. You know, we've got great things right here in our community. Master Musicians is definitely one of those. So 31 years this year.
31 years.
Tell me some of maybe the favorites that have come through here. I mean, we've had some big names, right, Tiffany?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Willie Nelson comes to mind, even though that was 11 years ago. I think people still feel that. You know, I can always throw that name out. And we're legit when I say, well, we've had Willie Nelson.
John Prine.
John Prine. That's one of my favorite memories, seeing him dance on this stage. And that was, just a few months before he passed during COVID. So, that memory is like always in my brain. We tried for so many years to get him, and I think we were just meant to get him that year.
Right.
St. Paul and the Broken Bones, that's always a big moment that everyone wasn't expecting. And that's one of the things this year that we've kind of based our bands on. We're like, we want to give our fans that experience. So let's do high energy bands. Maybe you don't know their names, but you didn't know St. Paul and the Broken Bones until they burn our stage up, you know.
Yeah,
so,
they were amazing.
Yeah, so I think you're going to have a lot of moments like that this year.
You've had some other, you've had some big names.
Yeah, Tyler Childers. Before he was 1 o'clock on a Saturday. So if you think, oh, well, I'm not going to go until the headliner, well, you're missing the whole point. Because we're bringing in artists that are going to be the next big thing. You are going to experience stuff you haven't seen before, and you can say, oh, well, I saw them there.
So how do you do that? Tell me just, I know that you could probably talk about this for an hour, but how does one find all these bands? How do you be on the cutting edge to get a Tyler Childers before he costs $1 billion? How does that happen?
A couple things. I mean, you definitely have to be into music. I go to a lot of concerts for fun. It's kind of cool because I get to do it for work and for fun, but you need to be really in tune with what is happening in the music community. And then just being involved, like going to the conferences in Nashville that all of these booking agents are at, making relationships with those booking agents so they can tell you what the next big thing, like, hey, these people are selling a lot of tickets in this market and
I got you.
kind of thing. So it's just having your ear to the floor ground and knowing what's going on.
Just being kind of part of that scene and always being aware and trying to get those new artists. That's the fun I've always thought, because most years when I come to this event, I love MMF. I don't know most of the people on the lineup, but I always find somebody who I really enjoy and I will continue to follow. The Dead South, Mountain Heart. I've learned.
Look at you.
I found.
Look at you,
Listen, I've gotten educated through this.
I love it. That's the whole point of the nonprofit. You know,
and I love that. So the headliner this year is an old school favorite, probably around the time we graduated. The Wallflowers.
The Wallflowers, yes. I've been saying in my interviews that, I just remember sitting outside of Pulaski County High School in my Sunfire, just listening to Jacob Dylan and the Wallflowers, and it was really cool if you knew that he was Bob Dylan's son, because there wasn't social media then. So how do you even know that? You know, you're like, oh, it's Bob Dylan's son. But I just remember being like, oh, Jacob Dylan gets me, And I actually told his manager, they were saying, what time he'd be here at the field. And I was like, well, that's probably good, because we've got a bunch of 40-year-old women running this music festival, and you probably want to keep them away from us.
Well, I will tell you that's a name that everybody knows.
Yeah.
And, I feel like I hear a lot of his music still on, XM radio, and there's a lot of very memorable, catchy, songs that were on the charts. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a heck of a draw. But you might come for that one. But
And Sunday
stay
Best. Yeah.
for, the Sunday Best. And then some of these bands you never heard of. Sunday Best is,
Oh, yeah. I think people will come for Sunday Best. But,
for sure.
But they're going to be blown away by Eddie 9-Volt, who is right before Sunday Best on this stage.
Yeah.
He is...
Eddie 9-Volt.
Oh, man. He is awesome. He's got that high energy.
You better if his name's 9-Volt.
I know, right? Yeah. So he's really up and coming, and he's doing big things.
Okay.
Friday night headliner Mae Simpson. I saw her at a music festival in Minnesota or Wisconsin, and she blew me away. I mean, tons of instruments, trumpets, saxophones. It's going to be a party.
Well, that's the fun of this. And I mean, you've got lots of things here. Obviously, we've got the stage that we're looking at back here, but there's a second stage. Are you going to have another stage back in the woods again this year?
We've gone down to 2 stages.
2 stages.
We just feel like it'll be a little bit better.
And then we've got a huge concessions area.
Yeah, let's walk and I'll show you around. We've got our cabanas, so sponsors can pay for these VIP cabanas, which is actually Bobby Clue's idea.
That was my idea.
In the day.
Thank you.
Yes. So that's really helped us out financially to be able to have these. And, there's not a lot of shade on Festival Field, so it's really nice to have these. As we keep walking, you'll see the VIP tent. So our VIP tent, you really can't buy VIP tickets. But what you can do, be a sponsor of $2,500 and above, and that's when you start getting VIP tickets. Now we do a few specials where we'll be like,
and there's
for today only you can.
There's other things that'll be out here. There's water stations, so nobody gets dehydrated.
Water stations.
There's shade.
Yep.
Why don't we go up here and talk in the tent? Because it looks like it's getting ready to rain on us.
Yeah.
Now, we're heading kind of towards where the
food vendors will roll in.
And you've got how many food? Lots of food vendors.
Yeah, I think there's at least 13 food vendors of different cuisines.
So basically,
they'll start rolling in Friday morning.
Yeah, any kind of that's half the fun is getting to eat.
Yeah. I feel like I never take advantage of that, and I need to. I always go get my burrito from Tacos Tanaka. That's my guy.
So you've got the check-in. You've got. I love that it's well set up. So you've got what you have is you've got volunteers that check you in up front.
Yep.
You can even get a golf cart ride all the way down here, can't you?
Yeah, you can take a golf cart ride over here. You can. You've got your band merch over there. You've got our merchandise, first aid, VIP.
You can bring chairs,
blankets, coolers.
Just no alcohol.
No alcohol. We do check for that.
So you can bring food in a cooler.
A lot of people bring big picnics and make it like a homecoming, like a reunion every year.
Right.
Which I love seeing everyone's little setup.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then if you go around, you can start seeing some lights. We got a surprise for our festival goers this year.
When it gets dark, how cool is that going to be?
I've always wanted this, and now we have Griswold lighting.
Aaron at Griswold's is top notch.
So he's in our community now, and I asked him if he'd be willing to do an in-kind sponsorship, and he agreed, and he's been out here all week setting us up, so I can't wait to see what that ends up being. We're going to do a community art project this year with a canoe.
Nice.
That's probably going to be right here in the middle.
Perfect.
Where the letters. And then, everyone's gonna take turns painting on it, and
so let me ask you one final thing here. It's not too late to buy tickets.
Oh gosh, no.
I mean, anybody that's watching this right now, the festival is this Friday and Saturday.
Yes, and you're actually going to save $15 per ticket if you buy before Friday.
Oh wow! So
if you buy today and tomorrow, and I think Friday by 3. It might be 11. I can't remember what time I said it for. But if you buy your tickets online now, you'll get them for $85, and at the gate they're $100.
Where do you go to get those?
MasterMusiciansFestival.org.
.org.
Yes.
That's because you're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
MasterMusiciansFestival.org. Well, Tiffany, I want to tell you this. So I'd never been to the Master Musicians Festival until I moved back to Somerset.
Right.
And I remember coming to the very first one. My very first one was the year before. It was right before Willie Nelson. It was the year. So that was 11, I guess, or maybe
13 was.
So it must have been 12.
Yeah.
So 12 was my first one.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, the Punch Brothers were there.
Punch Brothers. Yep. You're the strings.
So I will tell you, I have found this to be something that is a not miss thing. I've never missed one. Yep. I enjoy coming out here and seeing all my friends, making new acquaintances, getting to just enjoy a concert without having to drive to Cincinnati or Lexington.
Yeah.
Or, it's right here. And how many people will be here over the course of 2 days?
Probably about 7,000.
I mean,
yeah.
This is not a small undertaking. There's going to be a lot of people here. There's dozens of bands that are going to be here, and it's a great time. And it's in our backyard.
Yes.
You get to support local businesses, your local friends hosting this local music festival. So, mastermusiciansfestival.org
yes.
is where you can go get tickets. I'm asking you all to consider coming out this weekend. I think you'll have a lot of fun. And you're going to get to see one of the best festivals in the state of Kentucky, an award-winning festival.
That's right.
The 2023 Community Event of the Year.
Yes.
So, Tiffany, I know you're busy.
Yes.
You've got like a festival to put together.
You're doing good.
But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I want to thank you for being a member of the Chamber and always supporting us, and thank you for everything.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for the award and recognizing our work. We really appreciate it.
Very much
We'll see you on
deserved.
Festival Field.
There you go, guys. We're going to be back with more Chamber Spotlights, highlighting our 2023 businesses of the year. Stay tuned, guys. Until then, thanks. Have a great day.